Welcome to the new council for the period of 2024 to 28. I welcome you all here. We pay our respect to traditional custodians of the land and waters of the Murrumbidgee local government area and to all Aboriginal elders past and present and emerging. We are committed to honouring the continuing connection that First Australians hold to the Murrumbidgee lands, waters and community as one of the oldest living cultures of human history. In the spirit of open and accessible and transparent government, and to ensure this meeting is open to the public, this council meeting is being recorded. This recording will be placed on council's website following the meeting. We'll get straight into the first order of business, which is the oath or affirmation for the councillors. Each councillor has been provided with the oath or the affirmation. When I call your name, I would ask that you be upstanding and recite your oath or affirmation. If you are reciting the oath, the Bible is there with Councillor Bryce at this point in time, and she'll pass it forward for them. So could I please call on Councillor Bryce to say your oath or affirmation?
I, Faithful Bryce, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of the Murrumbidgee Council local government area and the Murrumbidgee Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Thank you, Councillor Bryce. Pass forward to Councillor Heath.
I, Hayley Neva Heath, solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the people of the Murrumbidgee Council local government area and the Murrumbidgee Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 and any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Please, Councillor Black.
I, Robert Hastings Black, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the people of the Murrumbidgee Council local government area and the Murrumbidgee Council, and I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Thank you, Councillor Black. Councillor Strong.
I, Timothy Collins Strawn, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of the Murrumbidgee Council local government area and the Murrumbidgee Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorised and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to my best and my ability and judgment.
Councillor McRae.
I, Ruth Elizabeth McRae, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of the Murrumbidgee Council local government area and the Murrumbidgee Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act of 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Thank you, Councillor McRae. Councillor Kirby.
I, Robert John Curfey, solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of council in the best interests of the people of Murrumbidgee Council local government area and the Murrumbidgee Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 and or other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Councillor Kirby. Councillor Sherburne.
I, Christine Ann Sherburne, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of the Murrumbidgee Council local government area and the Murrumbidgee Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993, or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Thank you, Councillor Durbin. Councillor Major.
I, Troy Albert Major, solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the people of the Murrumbidgee Council local government area and the Murrumbidgee Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Thank you, Councillor Major. Councillor Saxby.
I, Judith Ellen Saxwick, solemnly and sincerely declare that I affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of the Murrumbidgee local council area and Murrumbidgee Council, and I will faithfully and impartially carry out functions, powers, authorities, and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act of 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Thank you, Councillor Saxby. Thank you all councillors, and powers vested in me, I wed you all to the Murrumbidgee Council. The next item of business will be to item number 2, which is the election of the mayor and the deputy mayor. There's a recommendation there that the method of election for the office of mayor and deputy mayor be way of ordinary ballot, and the deputy mayor be elected for a 2-year term. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that motion, please? Councillor Major, Councillor Strawn. All in favour? So I am in receipt of nominations in accordance with the Act for the election of mayor. I have a duly authorised nomination for mayor of Councillor Ruth McRae. I declare Councillor Ruth McRae to be the mayor. And I've, for the election of deputy mayor, I have a duly authorised application in accordance of the Act for Councillor Robert Black. I declare Councillor Robert Black deputy mayor. Councillor McRae, would you like to bring your name tag and business papers and take over? Oh, yeah. Will be warm.
I take you. Oh, a little person's chair.
Other side.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. It's great to have council back at the table, and thank you for entrusting me to be your mayor for the next period, and congratulations to Councillor Black being elected as deputy mayor, and warm welcome to Hayley Heath. It's nice to have a new face at the table, and we hope that you enjoy your time here with us and feel comfortable enough to make the contribution which the community has duly charged you with. Okay, we'll move on to the minutes of the ordinary meeting of the 27th of August. We'd like to move that these minutes are to an accurate record, please. Councillor Churton, seconded Councillor Major. I'll put that recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Remind everybody of their pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations? I've received 2 declarations here. One from Councillor Murphy and one from Councillor Durbin. So thank you very much for that. We'll deal with those as we move through when the business items arise.
Okay. We'll move to the officers' reports for consideration. With
Up to item 3.
item 3, the delegations from council to the general manager and the mayor. John, would you please like to speak to this?
Thank you, Councillor Craig. Just as a part of business that every year at this time, after the election of council formally delegates to the general manager and the mayor duties of the Local Government Act and other acts. We are also going to be undertaking a review of those delegations in this first year of council as well, to make sure that they are in accordance with everything that has transpired through the time. So just in terms under section 377 of the Local Government Act, you can council can delegate a function with all functions of the act, except for those where a council must act by resolution or other things that have been identified there, the appointment of the general manager and the making of rates and so on and so forth. That's set out within there. So just as a general way to keep the organisation operating throughout the month in between council meetings, these functions are delegated to both myself and some separate ones delegated to the mayor. Recommendation: the council, in accordance with section 377 of the Local Government Act, by resolution of its meeting on the 3rd of October 2024, delegates its powers, authority and functions as set out in part 1 of the delegation authority register to the general manager and the mayor. Councillor Crane.
Okay, somebody like to move? Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Kirby. Are there any questions of John regarding this delegation of powers? From what we've seen, it's pretty standard and recognised as we have done previously. If there's no further questions or issues arising, I'll put the recommendation, which will read that council, in accordance with section 77 of the Local Government Act 1993, by resolution at its meeting on the 3rd of October 2024, delegates its power, authorities and function as set out in part 1 of the delegations of authority register to the general manager and mayor. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carry. Thank you. Item 4, please.
Thank you, Councillor McRae. Item 4 is councillor induction and professional development programs. Every year we develop a professional development plan for each councillor. You get to identify. I'll put forward some areas that I think that each councillor should take part in, specifically around financial management training and development applications and planning areas and things like that. But then there's a world of other things out there that if councillors are so keen on taking on, then we'll put them into your plans, things like plans for you to go off and do that training. So it's just in relation to that is we will be carrying out the induction. We'll have a brief induction this afternoon for a couple of hours, and then over the next couple of months of council meeting before the around workshop time, we'll introduce some other topics that are there. But also the Office of Local Government has started their series off again. So every Thursday for a couple of hours, they'll be running through everything. That will be highly advised that everybody takes part in that. Or alternatively, we could restream those together. That's something that we'll have a conversation about a bit later on, if that's the way you wish to go as we're developing the plans. So, yes, Councillor Craig.
Would somebody like to move, please? Move, Councillor Strong, seconded Councillor Bryce. Are there any questions or comments for John regarding our proposed induction on professional development?
I'm sure we had a professional development in Albury a few years ago. Would that be an idea to get somebody in for that at Albury?
We could do, yes. You want to do that?
To include it in our strategic planning workshop weekend? Yep, that's
2 hours max.
okay.
No, just,
Yes, yep, yep. Refresh on the things.
Yep.
We need to.
Any other questions of John? I've just got a comment, John, here, the professional development program. The Office of Local Government views very poorly if councillors do not take up the opportunities presented to them for professional development. And I've just listened to what John had to say, and perhaps, yes, they are on Thursday afternoon or whatever for 2 hours, but I think the idea of restreaming them with us as a collective is far more beneficial than people just logging in by themselves.
Yeah.
So I'd like to acknowledge John's idea in that space, and we will have further discussion, but encourage that that's how we go about doing our professional development. Because it is really important. Local government is viewed poorly anyway, the people sitting at the table, so we need to ensure that we are making an attempt to keep ourselves abreast of different legislation and different ways of going about doing business. Councillor.
this professional development also helps in your private life. And I had a classic example 2 weeks ago when they had Worldwide Country Women in Griffith, and they were asked for, the president of the world asked for some money to help 2 other countries being there, because she did it by herself. And I was asked what my opinion was. I said, if it's not a direct expense from that organisation, you cannot pay it. So they went and sought legal advice, and the legal advice is exactly the same as what I gave them, that they could not expend money outside of their charter of running the conference. So it does help it outside of this room.
I guess broadly that comes under governance, and governance is the one thing we all need to have a working knowledge with and be ably supported by our executive, who hopefully can inform us and keep us on the straight and narrow. But it's really important, and it's the one thing that can bring us undone very quickly. So there's a reason why we have the 72 policies, or is that how many we've got? 172 policies at council, and they are onerous, and they are, you sometimes question the validity of having to invest so much time and effort and work, but it's for our safeguard, it's for the organisation's safeguard, and gives us structure around how we go about doing things. So I think professional development is important. I don't think it should be a burden. I think it should be a learning and communication experience. So I think our induction and how we go about our professional development can be ably carried out by our general manager and his executive staff. So I think there's consensus here at the table that that's how we move forward. Okay, so if I put the recommendation, which we'll read, that the contents of the council induction and professional development programs report be noted, and the general manager, A, prepare relevant induction training for the mayor and councillors, and B, in consultation with the mayor and councillors, develop training plans for delivery over the term of council. So I'll put that recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McGray. Item 5 is appointments of delegates to council committee. So sitting in front of you is the current appointments of the council committees. I'll get you to take a quick look at these and to see if your names that are currently there, you're happy to continue on, or you want to change. Councillor Heath, if you would like to see where Councillor Gilbert's name was and see if you want to replace yours into there or choose something else or not take them on, then that's fine as well.
No, it's not. She'll take them on.
Will I, Justin?
John, there's one here which is the CICL Colleen Emily Environmental and Reference Committee. It's
In recess.
In recess at the moment. So
I'd take it out.
yeah, I would, because it was a 3-year term which would have expired in July.
Okay, well, add that to the resolution to
So-
remove those.
Remove that one.
And I'd like to add one more, which is Third Highway Task Force. It's on there, is it?
I don't see it.
That was, yeah, I had the same thing written, see it? It's that highway.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's in the, it's in the. In the.
and the recommendation is that the Stern Highway Task Force met for the first time. Next meeting,
Yep.
so add it in, yes.
Oh,
Also the Balmeringa Management Committee would not be a 355 committee anymore.
Right,
Is that correct?
Yeah,
that's great, we'll remove that.
Which one was that?
And I'd like to nominate Troy Major for the ARIC committee. All right, so it's the very first one
instead of you.
instead of myself.
Happy to take that on?
Yep.
Councillor Hayes?
Anything else? This one here, the Riverina, Thrive Riverina, that. I just don't think, well, I'm not actively engaged in any of those things. Our operational staff do that.
So take it out.
So I'd take that out.
Move, drive around.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that just about covers it. Has anybody else got anything?
Is the,
Sorry?
is the boat camp,
Oh.
the boat ramp Darlington Point Advisory Committee a?
well, we're not finished the project, so yeah, it still has to be up. It's still lighting. From the master plan, there was bushwalking things, fish tables, so that's an ongoing project which has to be completed.
Okay,
There was mention here about the Roads and Maritime Services Consultative Committee. We haven't been actively involved in such, but I would leave it there just in case there was an opportunity that they actually wanted to come and talk.
Good for me.
So I'd just leave that there, I think.
Just in regards to the boat ramp committee, so do they, in the delivery plan, there was some reference to the beach, main beach, upgrades?
It's on the other side of the river.
Is that the same committee or?
No, that's caravan park.
That's,
Caravan park.
land
Okay.
usage, yeah, caravan park.
Yeah.
Master plan.
This was primarily created when we did the project there, and there was still, as Councillor Kirby alludes to, there's still things that have to be
Yep.
finished there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we need to keep it down.
Yeah, I think within the next 12 months, we'll probably have most of that action. We'll
Yeah.
have the plan in place where it's going to be finished and we won't have to.
Make sure it's on the table so we then can say it's still.
Yeah. Well, the lighting's probably not far off
Yeah.
because that was almost finished 3 months ago.
Okay,
so,
anything else?
Councillor Heath, are you happy to replace Gilbert?
I've counted 4 so far. I've not missed any of his one.
1, 2,
So,
Boat ramp.
Yes, I've got
Land
4. They
usage.
seem all right. They seem like I can handle those.
There's a preschool committee on here, I can't see.
Yeah,
that's
there's
But
no preschool.
is,
early learning centre. Don't put early learning centre.
is there, well,
You're a
I'm
delegate.
president.
yeah,
Should it be on here?
should be an advisory committee or,
yes, yes.
So-
we'll have it as a-
Well, I think it should be. And
I just can't see, it's got to be added here, doesn't it? Yeah.
Preschool, you have to build a preschool one.
And I'm wondering if Haley wants to work with
Yes, she does.
Councillor Sastic on that.
Yeah, I'm cool with
Just-
preschool.
She's got a bracket rib already. Let's get that.
I wouldn't mind going to town, the Challenge Point, town life as well. It's okay with you?
Fine.
So we're adding the Darlington Point Early Learning Centre and
Hmm.
making Judy and Haley the delegates to that,
Or alternate.
Or
or both.
Or both, yeah.
Well, I'm automatically involved because I'm the president.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
That's it.
yeah. Well, quite often we have alternates.
Yep.
So. But if
Yeah,
you
well, you
want
have
to
two on it, doesn't
have 2 on
You
it,
can
it's
put
good.
2 on it.
okay. Was there another one, Hayley? They wanted down?
Do you like, do you like libraries? Because I'm pretty sure people.
Real good town
Give
life.
up libraries.
Not Gully, Gully, town life. Councillor Saxon? Yes.
Maybe the Collie Amberley sporting precinct can be discontinued, seeing it's finished.
No.
yeah.
Because they never become a user group.
Yeah,
They
Okay,
never get a user group meeting.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it needs to remain as it is.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. In Sturt Highway delegates are the mayor and
deputy.
deputy mayor. They're normally the,
Same as the new highway.
Yeah. Okay.
We're lucky to have a Sturt Highway after a couple of days ago.
Well, that-
Yeah, they're trying to blow it up on Monday. Oh, this car got pulled over with pipe bombs in the back of the car.
Wow.
I said that again.
An RBT test that went a bit different.
Down south. Oh, wow.
Well, you close the highway.
Drugs, so it got done with drugs, cash, and then 2 pipe bombs.
Wow.
Yeah. Was it
That was the
unregistered or
kangaroo.
unlicensed? One of the two,
That was
was
the
it?
kangaroo.
No,
Nah,
no,
This
different
is
one.
different.
This is an RBT test.
Okay.
Which is not good, but the only good news about it is when we get to the table for this, we can say, listen, this is what's happening out here. We need greater oversight of what's going on here. Yes. Okay. John, do we have a power to add to this list if something comes up?
Anytime.
So rather than, I think.
Don't need to wait.
No, we've got it pretty well covered, but if something arises, we have the power to add to this list.
Yeah. We just do that by general resolution.
Yeah.
At the time to add it to the list, so just let Blueberry seconds there.
Okay, would somebody like to move, please? Move councillor Sexton, second councillor Kirby, and the recommendation will read the standing and special committees, section 355 committees, advisory, external and internal committees be reviewed with council representatives determined for appointment to each committee. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 6, please.
Council meetings for the next 12 months. So we normally do, we only go September to September or October to September and then come back in September again and redo the meetings for the next 12 months. So this is the time when we can talk about, we've put recommendations there, but they're only based on the recommendations of what's been in the past. That could all be upturned. The times can change, the dates can change, the venues can change, everything. It's all up to you guys. So I'll just leave it with you to tell us how you wish to.
There is no changes in that recommendation.
Excuse me. I believe Colambia is not a suitable venue, and 2 meetings a year would be suffice there, and those 2 meetings, other 2 meetings go to Darnapon and Jewelry. We have got 2 beautiful chambers which should be used as council meetings rather than where we've been going, which we cannot hear what's going on, and it's not a very good venue. So that's my 2 bobs worth on Colambia venue.
And Councillor Black has, as I advised the previous council, the next council meeting will be in the Colambia chambers at the office.
The Colambia Chambers, I've had meetings there previously as Murrumbidgee Shire Council, and they are inappropriate. It's an inappropriate tiny little box, sardine can, which is not appropriate for 9 people plus staff to be in. It is not appropriate. I've been there before.
We will not be using the same tables that were there before that made it a sardine can.
So we're going to sit there in a row, are we, all
We're
together?
going to sit there in a row all together and have the ability to meet in Colambia.
I've been there before, John, and putting up with it twice a year is plenty. And I think we have got beautiful chambers. We should be using these good chambers.
I just say to council that we have the 3 towns, we have constituents in each of the 3 towns. I think as a minimum, you should be allowing the constituents to be able to come to your council meeting in that town without having to travel 30 or 70 kilometres.
That's twice a year. I haven't seen a constituent in our council chambers for the last 4 years.
So,
So we
Yeah.
did have one
Where?
At Collie,
at Collie in the,
the DA with the church.
church.
yeah. So when those things come up.
Twice a year, that can happen.
Okay, so what, councillor Black has, put forward his line. of
Amendment?
And a proposal, to change. What does everybody else think?
Well, last year I did speak against it, as I believe, pretty much what John's saying about equal representation and being in the community. But after experiencing last year, I do support Rob. And if we don't have good facilities there, then we need to reduce the meetings out. John, I haven't seen the room you're talking about, but it wasn't conducive to a good meeting at the where we were last year. So.
The hall.
So I'm backing your judgment this year, Rob. If you've been at the other,
I was in that
at the
meeting room
council.
on Monday. Yesterday. I was in there.
No, yesterday.
Yes, I was in there. Wednesday, I was in there yesterday. Have a look at that. Just have a look at the room again, and it is tiny. It is.
Yeah. So, and as far as access from
there.
constituents, they've all got our phone numbers. Obviously, we've got our local representation. And the good thing is, John, that you rotate around the council footprint now. So I'm backing Rob.
So, this pertains, closely to Colambley. What do the other 2 Colambley representatives think?
Well, I just wanted to ask John if he was thinking about reconfiguring the office for this or just.
It's been already reconfigured.
So the existing meeting room that was there was a fake wall put up by,
Yep.
I won't say,
Mhm.
that has been removed. The audio visual, there's been another television being purchased so that we can have 2 screens there. As you see, Julie currently, we're going to get a second TV for here too, is currently flipping between the minutes and the online platform. That will change by the time we come back here in the next 3 months. We'll have a second TV sitting up there so we can don't have to flip between those 2. So those have been ordered. We've already got the cameras. We've already got the all those things. The tables and chairs will turn up. They are the same sort of chairs that are tables that are at the hall. They fold up and they can be put away, or they can be folded down. We only need seven tables to fit the entire council and staff in that room quite comfortably. You'll have plenty of room behind you as well. The chairs are a smaller version of the ones you're sitting on at this point in time, I do believe.
Smaller than these chairs.
Just lower backs, not big backs or anything else like that. So they could be multi-purpose and go around where they need to. That's it. So the issues with the hall was the internet and the acoustics. There's no acoustics issues with that room. And I am never, ever going to say there's never going to be internet problems because we have them here, we have them everywhere. So that's all.
I'm
And I
happy,
will always run with what the council wants us to do.
I'm happy to trial the other room in Colambley as long as it's easy for the staff. The problems that has happened for Julie in setting up at the hall and little help here is what is the burning issue to me.
So what, has anybody else got anything else to contribute? Councillor Curfew?
Yeah, 3 communities, 3 meetings, 3 towns.
Yeah, but
I think fair and equity is to be perceived by the community that we're fair and equitable.
Yep.
By changing it, I see we're not being fair and equitable. I understand the point, but we're also subject to our ratepayers. And I would say the expectation would be there'll be equal amounts of meetings in each community. That's the way I perceive it. So I would prefer to just have it more equitable, so people feel like there's no bias.
Christine, you've spent time in that meeting room and colleagues.
Yeah, and look, it
Wasn't good.
but as John said, he's changed it. I'm sort of with faith in this. I'd like to trial it, and it's hard to sort of say. I understand what I'm agnostic about it. I understand. I really believe about the three communities, three equal representation, but I'm also concerned about, again, about that room being not suitable. So, but I'm with faith. I'd like to trial it and see how it goes first.
Okay,
So why
so,
not just review it in 12 months?
Yeah.
Give it 12 months with the three, and then we just look at it again. Is that possible? That's a compromise.
Yeah, I'd like to give it a go.
so
Could be.
Robert, do you propose a formal amendment? Robert? Or are you, confident?
Roy, what do you want to do?
Give it a go, one go, but not a whole year.
Not a whole year. Then we
So it's
trial
gonna
it.
be right.
Then we'll trial it next month
We're
and
gonna-
we'll review this.
That's right,
afterwards.
but, yeah. But last year I put up with it and put it on, and, well, the last
4
term,
years.
yeah. And then we're at the sports club, not sports club, but,
Recent, as stadiums.
yeah, it just wasn't,
Just
just wasn't conducive to a good meeting.
All
Right,
right, well,
It's not till February.
The other point in this, we've got a meeting, next month in Command,
Oh, he's not.
yes, you know,
this month.
It's
So,
not, it's not,
yeah,
yeah.
in 20 days,
Right.
20.
so the pressure's on, John, you know that, Crack it. screens are gonna be there and,
Yep.
Could be from Aldi. They'll be there.
that's the pressure too.
And the only thing that is different, as always, is the December meeting. Like we've always had a Friday meeting on the day that the council breaks up. The only two dates for a Christmas party this year are the 6th or the 20th, being non-RDO weeks. So hence, we could separate them if you wanted to and have the ordinary meeting on the 17th, on the Tuesday, the 17th, and the Christmas party on the 6th, or even the 20th, or whatever. Thoughts?
Yeah, I support it.
I'm
Yeah.
in favour of a separate meeting.
okay, so we'll go with the recommendation?
Yep.
The 17th or the 20th?
17.
Okay, all right. All right, so did somebody, any further commentary around that, John?
Time, start time, commentary, we're having workshops again at 10 o'clock. It's going to take us through, council meeting starts at 2. Is there any
That's the
thoughts of that, or is everybody pretty set in stone in regards to that, or what's going on?
Well-
Do we want to discuss that?
Please discuss it. Now's the time to discuss it.
So has anybody got any feelings about the times?
Don't consider anything about overtime or anything for staff or anything like that.
No, I've had no feedback. I've asked a few people about, is it better to have it in the afternoon? And I haven't got any feedback back in regards to people wanting to come to council meetings and stuff like that. So
No.
there's been no appetite to have it at 6 o'clock at night or anything like that. So, we don't have to be like Griffith. So whatever people think,
We've
I'm
also
okay.
always, councillor Kirby prioritised the fact that, if at all possible, we didn't want people travelling in the dark.
Yeah.
At night time, dodging
100 kilometres.
kangaroos, that's
That's a big
always
issue.
problematic, and we have a duty of care to not only our staff, but our councillors, so that's the reason we went with the daytime meeting. So, I guess the feedback on the format, workshops and then, council meeting after lunch, is everybody relatively happy with how that works?
yeah. And if we can't make, for Haley's thing, if you can't make the workshop, you can't make the workshop. You just let
Yeah.
council know, because I've missed a couple of workshops myself. I haven't had time, but I've managed to make the council meeting.
Yeah.
So it's all about just communication.
It is, we do try to
At least
program right
information.
council workshop and council meeting on the one day, so it's only the one day
Rather than travelling
rather
twice.
than a month, yeah.
We used to
So-
travel.
Yeah,
Mid-month.
rather splitting it up, yeah, so that's the rationale behind that. Okay. Any further comment? No? Okay. Well, would somebody like to move this recommendation, please? Move councillor Strawn, seconded councillor Bryce, and the recommendation will read: the council schedule monthly council meetings for the fourth Tuesday of October and November 2024, and the fourth Tuesdays of February 2025 to September 2025. Council meetings commence at 2 p.m. The meeting venues alternate between Jerilderie, Darlington Point and Collyambly as follows: Collyambly, October 2024 and February 2025. October 2024 and February, May and August 2025. Jerilderie, November 2024 and March, June and September 2025. And Darlington Point, December 2024 and April and July 2025. The December ordinary meeting of council will be held on the third Tuesday of the month, Tuesday the 17th of December 2024. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Unanimous. Well carried. Okay. Do you want your,
No.
Good job. I have to ask if he wants his, opposition noted.
Yes,
Yes.
I will have it noted.
Yes, okay,
Yes.
all right. Councillor Black wishes
No
to use
ability to have his opposition noted.
So it's coming from a Collyambly councillor rather than,
It's not a
It's-
divided vote, not a, what's it?
it's coming from a Collyambly councillor that
Recorded vote.
venues are not-
Recorded vote.
are not appropriate.
It's not a
Well, I'm
not a
sorry,
recorded
councillor
vote.
Black, my
I know.
generosity was going to allow you to have your opposition noted, but the general manager's guidance informs me that we can't do that, so bad
It's not
luck.
a recorded vote.
Okay. Done. Item 7, please.
Shouldn't have said that because, thank you, councillor McRae. The general manager's, report. So, just, want to point out a couple of things in the confidential section today. We've got a request to purchase some land for the proposed long daycare and preschool in Darlington Point. We all say yay, you beauty. I propose that we also have our annual strategic workshop on the weekend, starting Friday the 31st of January and concluding on Sunday the 2nd of February. Similar
That's going to be a
form-
long meeting.
similar formats to every other year. Dinner on the Friday night with dignitaries and everybody else that we can get there, and then get stuck in for a good day and a half. Strategic planning workshop. Then Powell Street one way. Council has written to stakeholders with properties located on facing or backing Powell Street. It's out for community comment at the moment for probably another 14 days or so before the time's up. We've specified some 60-degree parking and things like that. Got a plan in front of me here for councillors to have a look at in relation to that. I was added one more thing in there, and to the recommendation was that I wish to seek approval from everybody except for Councillor Black to take some annual leave again from the 30th of October to the 6th of November. So that would just be added to my resolution of the recommendation that was
Powell
on.
Street's behind the
Julie's probably already added that in to that,
That's where
so that you
chambers
could read
are.
on the screen up
That's
there.
about
Councillor
there,
Craig, once you get the moving seconder, and we get the question out of the way.
Somebody like to move general manager's monthly report, please. Move councillor Turpin, seconded councillor Murphy. Are there any questions of John regarding his report?
No, just a point, the annual strategic workshop needs to be on the ground level. My knees are not that good anymore, so I don't want to be walking up and down stairs, thanks, John, especially if I've had a couple of wines.
Yeah.
So please make sure it's on the ground level.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Third floor it is.
Yeah, there's an elevator, very good. Very good, thank you.
Any further commentary? If not, give a move in a second, then. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
The recommendation will read, the annual resolved on the motion of councillors Churgman and Kirby that the information contained in the general manager's monthly report be noted, and the annual strategic workshop we held in Albury commencing Friday the 31st of January 2025 and concluding Sunday the 2nd of February 2025, and the general manager's annual leave be authorised from the 30th of October to the 5th of November 2024. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item number 8.
Excuse me, I need to leave the chamber in regards to this. I have an interest.
you.
Yes, I've got it.
Come and give you.
Yep.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor, item 8 deals with a request council's received from the Darlington Point Club to remove a further 12 existing mature plane trees. The reason it's been brought to council today is that the Darlington Point control plan, development control plan, requires council approval to remove trees on private property. The Darlington Point Club, in support of their application, state that the trees, in their opinion, are diseased and can be considered dangerous and already dropping limbs in the car park. Now, under the Darlington Point Colliery Development Control Plan, one of the considerations council needs to take in reviewing an application is the landscape scenic quality. The trees, being mature trees, do have a significant scenic quality that council would have to take into consideration. The failure or the lack of a report from a qualified ophthalmologist has influenced me in recommending to council that at this stage we refuse the request until they submit a further report from a qualified tree surgeon or ophthalmologist.
Who pays for that?
The club.
The club did, and then this is, I'm sorry, this is
Okay,
ridiculous.
well, hold on, we'll have a bit of regulation around this. Councillor Black, would you like to?
Yeah,
You're asking a question.
who pays for the arborist report?
Through Madam Mayor, the club would be required to provide that.
All right, Councillor Saxon.
Well, when I read this, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. We have plane trees in our yard. They do not drop limbs. We don't have any disease. Those trees shelter cars in the summer. They provide a lot of shade. Yes, there's a few leaves when they fall in the autumn. There's no curb and guttering in that car park. The car park is mainly gravel. The trees aren't close enough to be lifting up building or causing issues at this stage in the front of the club with the sewage. It just seems to me that a lot of people, the thing is, get rid of the trees. Now, it's affecting our environment. People park under those trees in the summer for a reason. And if you go up there on the hot summer days, you don't see them parked close to the bowling green. You see them parked under those trees for shade and shelter. So number one, I don't agree that they do drop limbs because we have 2 in our yard and one's close to the house, never dropped a limb. Disease, we've never had any disease with ours. And you look around town, there's a lot of plane trees. Why are we constantly removing trees? You know, if it was threatening the building or it was causing issues with their sewage, fair enough. But I just think this is an idea that the club committee has come up with, and they're going to plant them elsewhere. Where elsewhere? The golf course, which they don't use that much. Sorry, I'm dead set against this, and I'm glad to see that at this stage is not going to go ahead.
I agree with you, Judy.
Is there any further comment, or did somebody else like to put an alternate point of view?
My only additional comment is that an arborist will give us the facts.
Yeah.
And if there's no disease there, if there's no reason to, they'll stay.
My comment is, do you think this is a knee-jerk reaction to risk that is now being identified with trees dropping their leaves?
It could well be. They don't mention that,
No.
in their supporting letter.
Okay.
It doesn't
Red
state
gums
of
are
any,
known to drop limbs. You know, any type of eucalyptus will drop limbs, but these aren't eucalyptus,
No.
right?
They're not natives.
So they're not putting anything back where they'd be removing them from,
Probably not.
not even like a shade over the front area.
They just
So
get
that'd be just
replace
a
the
big open
trees,
car park.
unknown places.
It just says where they plant it in someplace else on the land.
I can see the two trees at the back of the club. I can, car wise, traffic wise, well, that could be an issue. But not those shady trees where you want to park your car.
Oh, I think the aesthetics are pretty important unless an arborist says otherwise.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so. Happy to wait.
Well,
for
had a
opinion
good
from
look as-
professional.
Yeah, as we drove in, I'm thinking that's gonna be very bare.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Like, so where these two trees are, a lot of people do go park, and I know with, when school has their,
Presentation.
no, the run, what do you call it?
On the
Cross country run.
Yes.
I do know there's a few cars and kids and
Ah,
all there, around there, but other than being a traffic issue,
If they were
I've not seen
also
any problem.
proposing to put big structures up with solar panels,
Yeah.
or house solar panels, totally different, but
Conversation.
all
I
they're
agree.
saying is
Yeah.
we're getting rid of some trees.
That's it.
yeah.
So the landscape will be barren,
Yeah.
gravel car park, heat radiating off it.
That's right.
So, okay, well, I think we had a thorough discussion on that. So did somebody move?
Um,
I'll
No,
move
somebody
it.
like to move? Councillor Saxick, seconded councillor Strawn. And the recommendation will read that the request to remove 12 London plane trees from the Darlington Point Club Limited car park and club rooms area be refused until such time as a licensed and qualified arborist report has been lodged with council, confirming that the London plane trees may have reached their end of effective lives and that they are diseased and or cannot be rehabilitated and should be removed. 2, upon receipt of such a report, council to further consider the removal of the trees. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Tim, could you get Robin from that one, please? Item 9, please.
Thank you, to you, Madam Mayor. Item 9, refers to, hopefully the final, plans to manage Crown lands. And in this case, the Druid Common and Druid Stock Group. These were presented to council, on the 23rd of July this year, where council resolved to put them on public exhibition. The result of that, exhibition, closed on the 4th of September. There were no submissions either for or against or advising, received during that period. And the recommendation is that council now adopt those two, plans of management.
Just for clarification, Gary, you said there were no submissions.
With no submissions received either for, against or advice.
Thank you for that clarification. Okay, would somebody like to move? Move councillor Major, seconded councillor Chairman. Are there any questions or any commentary that we would like to, Gary to answer?
All right,
Councillor Kirky.
one question. I may be in the wrong spot, but the plan of management for the common area?
This is at Druidry.
That'd
No.
be here, isn't it?
Oh, you're saying here.
I'm just trying
Yeah.
to find the table. Status of Crown Lands Plan of Management for the Darlington Point Common area. Is that,
But we only have part of the common area. The rest of it is national parks or Crown land, not managed by us.
But it's a mess down there. It's
is
a
that, but should
mess.
part of that we are responsible for, should that be in this table or
No,
am I mistaken? It's okay if I'm mistaken. I just thought,
so this is Jewellery Common and Stock Group,
yeah, but I'm pushing.
right?
You're seeking clarification
Yep.
for the Darlington Point.
Yep, just for clarification with the Darlington Point.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, but the Crown lands that we don't manage down there, it's managed by Crown
Crown
lands
Lands, yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of that area. Once you get through the gates, it's not our responsibility.
Wow. It is a mess.
So these plans of management only relate to areas of Crown lands, across our council areas that we manage.
That we manage. So you see in there, we don't have a Crown Land Management Plan for the Murrumbidgee Council Demonstration Farm because that is being managed by another group. Right.
Okay.
So that's
Yep.
similar to that.
Yep, no, I understand where we stand in regards to that now.
So what is the insurance? So we manage these and we pick up the insurance on these. Third
Everything
party,
that we manage, we have,
public
I
liability.
know where you're going.
Well, mention it's
Another
there.
conversation, another conversation.
No.
And I guess, Gary, Robert and, councillor Curfew and councillor Saxby have both alluded to their concerns regarding the management or lack thereof of,
Yeah.
this common area here. So
But it's our RV place for caravans and stuff, so we're promoting the RV. I just don't know how far we take on that liability because of what we put in our website and what we promote. So
There's a lot of caravans that go down there.
that's what I mean.
And at the moment, if we have the summer we're gonna have, it's gonna be a huge fire risk down there.
That's a
Huge.
bigger issue, the fire risk.
Yeah.
Because it's so close.
But
to
it's
town.
high. I mean, I've been down there twice in the past month.
But unfortunately, it's not our responsibility, like
no,
No,
Councillor Stoll said, so we can't actually put resources in there unless we get support from.
We have, Gary and I,
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Rob.
Gary and I have regular meetings with Crown Lands, about 3 or 4 times a year. And, we've spoken to them about that, so we will bring it up again. He's
Yeah.
written it down to bring it up again.
Right, so
maybe
the fire
if I
risk
meet
is-
with them.
We're happy to do the work if they want to pay for that to be done.
Well, the fire risk is number one, especially with campers who.
Do the wrong thing.
and we're in that now, we're in that bushfire
That's right.
period. So Gary, I guess the request from council here is that we organise a meeting, as soon as possible so we can get some attention drawn to the fact that it is a significant risk close to town.
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so are there any further questions with Gary?
Just this caravan park is highlighted in yellow, amendments requested by, what does that mean?
Caravan park, plan management for the development by caravan park was considered by council, was lodged to the department. They've come back to us with some further questions, which Steve's handling. Once they're sorted out, depending on what they are, to be honest, I don't know at this stage. We might come back to council, we present it back to the
Okay,
department. The process is we resolve to adopt, or we prepare a plan of management according to the department's input. Comes to council, we consider it, we put it on public submissions. So then that's all sent back to the department for final. If the department has some issues, plan of management that we put together, I'll ask Steve to clarify that. Assume, then I get involved later, if that's the case with this one as well.
okay.
That's fine, councillor Saxby, you're happy with that? Okay, and Gary, you will bring
Yep.
any relevant information back to the table once you receive it.
Through again, Madam Mayor, there was a part of that plan of management where we would be managing the area on the creek side of the caravan park
Yeah.
in relation to biodiversity matters, because there's a creek through there. We're
Yeah.
trying to clear some of that timber. Maybe that might be the issue.
Okay,
I need to confirm.
thank you.
And again, Gary, just for as long as we've been sitting at the table here, that is an issue that is very relevant, but seems to be very difficult to action.
Yeah.
Which is part of our flood mitigation stuff.
Yeah.
So, council's on board with it and we recognise that it needs to be dealt with. And yes, I know that it's all about biodiversity and those sort of things, but, again, that's a risk. So we would like an ability to actually get some action in that space.
And that's why we're
Yeah. Okay.
It's, our attempts to write to various departments in seeking approval to remove the timbers and things that should be removed from that creek for that.
Yeah.
Has ended us in going from, no, that's not our responsibility, that's theirs, to, no, it's not ours, it's the other people,
No.
to the other people saying, no, that's theirs. And I said to Gary, let's just go in there and start ripping it up. We'll soon find out who's responsible for it. Come and tell us.
The,
Just come.
but it's not only that creek area, we've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
In regards to the growth in between the two creeks underneath the bridge.
Yes.
I mean, that last flood, we ended up with another 150 mil of water back up, and part of that has contributed to that growth in the centre. That actually is new growth that should be removed. And if we don't get any clarity and get that moved, well, again, once we have the next flood, it's going to be more of an issue of that bottleneck backing up and flooding out our residents on the north side. So we really have to action that in the same basket.
Might be one of those things where you beg forgiveness instead of seeking permission.
Yes.
We're not.
Yes. Yes. But it's myself that goes and enjoys His Majesty's service, not you guys.
That's fine. Truly.
We're sitting comfortable.
Take one for the team.
Very comfortable with these.
What do we have to do?
So, okay, so somebody like to move? Did we move?
Yeah.
Okay, that is move, councillor. Sorry. That's okay.
See, we have the two screens.
Okay,
Exactly what Faith was talking about.
Yeah. Resolved on the motion of councillor Major and Churgwin that Murrumbidgee Council adopt the generic plan of management for the Murrumbidgee Common and the Murrumbidgee Stock Group. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against?
Yep.
You're supposed to be outside of that.
Oh, no, not this one. This
No,
one.
this one.
This one.
This one. But, yes. Thank you. Item 10, please. Thank you, councillor Churgwin, for letting me.
Move it.
Okay, that's this.
Item 10 relates to the conversion of the Collier lease. So just to give you the background of that, all of the Collier town blocks were originally 99-year leases with an option to convert those into freehold land at the unimproved values that come through from the value of general for rates purposes. I think there's 8 of those remaining as leasehold properties at this stage. The previous council term, council developed and adopted a Collier lease conversion policy just to formalise the process for converting those leases to where there was a policy previously in place by the former Murrumbidgee Shire Council. Basically, in accordance with that policy, we've received a request to convert one of those leases to freehold. So just seeking a resolution from council to do so in accordance with that policy.
I'll move it.
Move, councillor Murphy, seconded councillor Bryce. Are there any questions on the tabling regarding this agenda item? No? If not, then the recommendation will read that council authorise the general manager to negotiate the conversion of lot 280 DP 255769 at the 1st of July 2022 land value with council's legal fees and stamp duty to be paid by the lessee. 2, the conversion settlement is to be paid in full. And 3, council authorise the general manager to execute the required document. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. We'll move to the officers' reports for noting, and item 11, please, the monthly investment report.
So the monthly investment report is the same report we present every month. Just a requirement of the actual report all of the money the council has invested each month back to council. So at the end of August, there were funds of approximately $28 million invested, meeting all of the targets and the requirements under the investment policy and the regulations and act. So just recommending that council note the report.
Right, somebody like to move, please. Move councillor Black, seconded councillor Bryce. Are there any questions of Caitlin, please, regarding this report? If not, the recommendation will read that council note the monthly investment report identifying all money council has invested under section 625 of the Local Government Act of 1993. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 12, please.
Yours, never mind.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor, item 12, is a report, seeing the, final results or final report for the 2023-2024 delivery program report, which is, attached to the end of the council, papers. Progress report is up to the 30th of June, it's a period of December through to 3rd of June. And basically, the recommendation is progress report, Murrumbidgee Council delivery programs 30th of June is noted. In that, in the progress report, just all our progress on the actions in the delivery programs up for the last 12 months.
Okay, so we'd like to move, please. Move Councillor Major, seconded Councillor Murphy. Are there any questions of Gary regarding this report?
I've
Councillor Durden.
just got one with the heritage heritage one, which is 2.3.1.1. The $25,000, council's providing $25,000.
It's dollar for dollar. Yes, so,
But because I'm struggling with this a little bit, only because I've had to apply for this through this. So the state government's putting up $25,000
over 2 years.
over 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's 12,500 per year. Okay, that answers my question. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Major.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things, but first of all, I do think the delivery plan has been a success, as in, and well done to the staff and management. I think we've got through a lot, particularly as we had a change in directors back in February. So I think that's good. I think it's also good that we didn't reach 100% of all our goals, as it means we're stretching ourselves somewhat. So yeah, I think it's really good. But there was, and obviously, yeah, things to carry over. The integrated water cycle management strategy, we really, but yeah, it's been going for a long time. So I think it's got to be, I guess, really concentrate on for next year. Obviously, we're carrying it over, but yeah. So that was that one. The other things I wanted.
Would you like your explanation on that?
Very quick
Yes.
update. What's the length of time taken? The assets in our water system, the valuations on those are out of date. We've now re-evaluated them and brought them up to date. The Department of Public Works now got that, so we're moving forward. We virtually got to the final. I don't hesitate to use hurdle.
Gateway.
And we were told that valuations are out of date, so that's now been done. So we're now moving forward with it. So we've got nothing in front of us that we have to finish on.
So we are at the final gateway.
We're getting very close.
Well, you know, that's incredible.
Padlock, what though?
It's got a brick wall there. But I'm pleased to hear that, because inside, in what I read inside local government, they are seeking feedback about safe and secure water projects. And I'm thinking, wow, let's cut loose here and let them have it. But I won't now, because you're assuring me that we are moving forward.
Absolutely. I hesitate hand on heart to say we're close, but we've jumped the final hurdle.
So do you think it will be actioned in this term of council?
Yes.
Like that's 4 years, Gary. Do you think we will?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And
Well, that's what, yeah, I think it's really important. It's a basic fundamental of what council should do. So certainly as councillors, we support, management to do whatever you need to do. If you need more resources or whatever, you might have to come to us. But
I believe we've got wonderful resources. They probably may not have been used effectively prior.
yep. So just skipping through it, I've picked out a few things that haven't obviously progressed 100%. So one of them is on 3.2.2.2, which is around develop business cases and funding options for new or multi-purpose sports and recreation facilities. And it's around the user group meetings. So the problem, that'll never progress while we don't have a meeting. So I certainly in our workshop, I want to try and get a meeting date, particularly for the Monash Park. So we'll talk about that in our workshop. And that should help progress that, because there is ideas that I have said before that we do have for that facility. The other one, this 4.1.2.2 is around maintain membership of regional government and non-government organisations. Said we're only 50% progress. What are we actually missing other than being on Ramjo? Yeah, what else are you hoping to achieve there?
What was the number again, sorry? 4.1.
4.1.2.2.
It may mean we may have only been up and, 50% of the meetings. In my case, for the planning development main Ramjo meeting I attend is the last one. So we probably didn't get to all four of them.
Okay.
Might be as simple as that, but we certainly try.
Just to add to Councillor Major's conversation, I know that it's operational, but I know things like Regional Development Australia and things like that. Is there an opportunity for a council to attend if the operational staff can't attend?
Yes, there is. If anybody's got keen interest in any of
I
any of the subcommittees of or working groups of Ramjo,
Yeah.
then yes.
I just think it's really valuable because you actually need somebody at the table. And if we don't make the effort to be at the table, it's very easy to be disregarded or not included in whatever initiatives are going on out there. So I just think, just for information collection and sharing it. And it also displays a positive, mindset for the council that we are engaged and we do want to be included. Being a really small council, I think it's really important that we do that sort of stuff.
And thinking of your training session that you wanted, the strategic planning workshop, Councillor Black, maybe I'll pull Ramjo Executive Officer in for 2 hours to actually go through everything of Ramjo.
Yeah, I
and
think that'd be good.
All of the subcommittees and all that sort of stuff as a bit of a session on, because it's important.
Yep.
It's an important part of our induction as Ramjo.
So that'll be Friday night.
Right?
Well, we could have it on the Friday afternoon prior to the dinner.
You definitely need a few more scotches.
Actually, it's really interesting stuff, the Ramjo stuff. It's because it looks at that high level. And our opportunities. So it's actually a very good idea of the general managers that we would perhaps invite our Ramjo EO to do that. And our chair. It's a lot of entertainment. Okay,
Whoever our chair's going to be.
whoever it's going to be, yeah.
Right, I know, yeah.
Okay, so Councillor Major, was there anything else?
Oh, no, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I just think we have achieved a lot, or the staff and management have achieved a lot. And I think it's really good. And
It's actually a good report, Gary.
Yes.
It gives us a snapshot of where we're at and what we've done. And to Councillor Major's comment, I think it's a very pleasing result given our staff changes and challenges. So well done. Councillor Cherwin.
I've just got one more, which is 1.1.4.2, lobby for increase. Oh no, that's mental health. I'm just 1.1.4.1, which liaise with health service providers to secure enhanced services for the community. Well, I can tell you now with what I've been through for the last couple of months with both my mother-in-law and my husband, not having community nursing in Coleambally is extremely stressful. And I just think the lack to Coleambally and Darlington Point of not having available services like that is very, very difficult and very concerning.
And to speak to whether the general manager, the mayor and whomever else in that space, every opportunity we get, we speak to it. We spoke to it last week.
Yeah.
When Jill Loveton was in the
This
room.
doesn't seem to get anywhere, does it?
No, it's like
it's a very slow burn.
yeah, it's a very slow burn.
And yeah, we have the opportunities at least 3 times a year. There's a video hookup with all of virtually the Murrumbidgee local health districts.
Bureaucrats.
Bureaucrats and GMs and mayors. Jill comes out at least probably twice a year. at least once a year, we get to sit down with her and talk about things out in, Drury. We have gone to meet her a couple of times over there to progress things, and we hear there's a lot of progression going in Wagga, in Griffith, in
Not in our patch.
not in our patch.
Yeah.
Not in our
And
patch.
we had a 2-hour meeting with her last week, but it's not just Tarouba, it's Colliambley and Darlington Point.
So it's not resourced anymore.
No.
It's just not resourced.
Well,
They
but
just pulled
they will say, Rob, that yes, the resource is there, it's not located in your community.
Yeah, so
It's in Griffith, it's delivered out of Griffith.
They send a nurse out, as needed.
Yeah.
And it is twice a week, but if you're wanting to have dressings changed every 2 days, you have to travel into Griffith.
What a waste of an asset sitting over here with not being resourced.
And to that, when I attended the community consultation for the drought resilience program in Colliambley, we spoke at how we can better equip our communities for the adverse conditions like drought and whatever. And I said, well, you could give us back the community nurse at in Colliambley and Darlington Point. That'd be a help, because as drought and whatever impacts, people often can't afford to travel into places like Griffith or whatever, even if they could access the care. So it's really, that was very broad blue sky thinking, but making our communities as able as we can and sustaining them is what we try to do, and that's what a lot of that project did involve.
Yeah.
So it is actually identified in that project.
Thank you.
Okay.
Could I just speak to the upgrade of the website? I think I've accessed it quite a few times and it's fabulous. The amount of information on it is enormous. I did test the report and issue part on it, which I got an immediate message that it was reported, but I've never actually had a follow-up message to say whether
It was done,
it was ever,
action.
yeah.
Resolved.
So, and it wasn't, it was a tiny, weeny little issue, so, sorry.
Well, there's an action number.
Oh, 521.4 was upgrading our website.
Was the issue resolved?
I've got no idea, I haven't looked,
Oh, okay.
but like, also wasn't notified whether it was.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
so the loop wasn't closed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No.
But your progress report on that is 75%, so it's probably going to be upgraded. But no, the website I think is a lot better.
It's
Very user friendly.
Yep. Okay, any further comment around that? If not, go back to that. We go.
Major.
So when did that?
Councillor,
Actually, when did
No. Resolved on the motion of councillors Major and Kirky that the progress report on the Murrumbidgee Council delivery program to the 30th of June 2024 be noted. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 13, please.
Thank you. Through the Mayor, item 13 is list of development applications approved by council during August. It should also say September.
Will we add September then?
Yes.
Well, tell me, there's nothing in September.
No.
No, David, you didn't do anything in September.
Pretty much. Well, we did.
That's not the English, shouldn't have said that to the council.
People have other things.
Well, we're only caretaking, weren't we?
Well, it's the August-September report,
Yeah.
so we should have September in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though you didn't do anything in September, yeah.
I came to work.
That's a tick. Okay, all
And
right.
it's recommended the report be made.
Okay. Are there any questions or further questions of Gary? He's had a rest now. He can answer lots of things. If not, the recommendation will read. Oh, could somebody move that, please? Move councillor Strong, second councillor Mather. And the recommendation will read that the information contained in the development applications approved under delegation for August and September of 2024 report be noted. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Okay, would somebody like to move that we move into confidential, please? Move councillor Kirky, second councillor Slapstick. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you.
Better call COVID. Without getting back.
All good?
So, item number 15, no, sorry, 14. The library infrastructure grant. Resolved on the motion of councillors Heath and Kirby, the council authorise the making of an application to the 2024-25 Public Libraries Infrastructure Grant to incorporate libraries into the existing Collyambley and Darlington Point offices in parallel community consultation on the library proposed be undertaken. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item number 15, the body housing land swap for long day care. Resolved on the motion of councillor Saxvick and Kirby, the council authorise the general manager to A, complete the purchase of lot 4 DP 718198, 31 Carrington Street, Darlington Point, from Wada Housing and Advancement Corporation Limited. 2, sell 2 lots within the Young Street subdivision identified as number 6 and number 9 Edward Street, Darlington Point, the Wada Housing and Advancement Corporation Limited, and see the purchase to be funded from section 712 contributions. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item number 16, please. Young Street subdivision, electrical reticulation, SC 810, SAP 86. 610. Resolved on the motion of councillors Churgwin and Bryce that 1, council resolved having regard to specialist advice received to proceed with the procurement of electrical reticulation services to the Young Street subdivision without involving tenders for the works for the following reasons. 1, A, council's contract project managers and specialist electrical design consultants have made extensive inquiries of known qualified potential contractors and being satisfied that further advertising would 1, be unlikely to elicit interest from additional potential suppliers, and B, be likely to lead to currently interested suppliers declining to participate in further round of procurement. Have advised that the best value for the money available to council will be obtained by supporting a contractor from those currently identified, and B, consequently, council is of the belief that a satisfactory result would not be achieved by inviting tenders for the works. 2, council award a contract for the installation of electrical reticulation services to the Young Street subdivision to Boschetti Industries Proprietary Limited in the amount of $389,759, excluding GST, essential energy fees and supply of
Bedding sand.
bedding sand. It's interesting, sand. Bedding sand to essential energy specifications. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. We now might move on to an item without notice and ask Caitlin to speak to this, please.
So we just need a resolution to accept that we take this item without notice, please. That's not great.
That's the resolution. Would somebody like to move councillor Black and seconded councillor Broadham, that this item without notice be accepted and referred to the extraordinary meeting of council held on the 3rd of December 2024 as it requires resolution before our next scheduled meeting. I'll put that. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Draft financial statements. 2023-24.
As you know, every year we have to put up the financial statements for referral to the auditors. There's the things we have to tick off there. So confirming that the going concern basis is appropriate, authorising the general manager to make any adjustments to the financial statements that might arise as the result of the audit, authorising the signing of the statements, referring the statements to audit, and delegating authority to the general manager to do all of the things that are necessary once we actually get the audit finalised. So the draft financial statements went to the auditors and they commenced their audit. They started a bit of preliminary work yesterday. The draft copies of both the general purpose and special purpose financial statements have been included as attachments to the report. I will note in particular, I know we're always talking about the unrestricted cash. So if you jump to that figure, you might be slightly alarmed by a reduction in that number. So it's currently at the end of 30 June 2024, was sitting at about $145,000, which obviously is down significantly from last year where it was closer to $2 million and the target that council set, which is $1.5 million. The thing that I would point to there is there's also a significant number of contract assets in the financial statements. So there's about a $3.5 million balance, which is in relation to grant works and similar works that have been undertaken, but we haven't physically received the cash yet, so it doesn't hit that cash figure. So there's those works are in there, but are obviously not in the cash balance yet. So once they hit that balance, will look a little bit healthier. We take the other side off. So if we received funds, but we've not yet done the work, we reflect that in the unrestricted cash numbers, but we don't do the other side. So it's a very conservative number. So just wanted to provide a little bit of clarification around that point. But otherwise, the auditors will present the financial statements probably at the November meeting, most likely, ensuring that the audit and everything all goes to plan, and present a more detailed analysis at that time. But I'm open to any questions that.
Would somebody like to move, please? Move Councillor Durkee, seconded Councillor Major. Any questions of Caitlin, please? Councillor Major.
Look, I've just had a quick skim through, but I found something of interest in the material budget variations on page 26.
And then we'll be some additional commentary around those in the final statements.
Yep. So in our expenses, material and services were down 25%. So is that due to us not actually completing some roadworks, for example, or is that a net benefit of the budget?
I need to have a close look at it. It'll either be, I suspect what it may be is that there's that materials and services expense line doesn't include materials and services that we've expended on capital works. So when we've undertaken construction projects and things like that, then they aren't captured in that figure. So I suspect there may be more works capitalised than we've taken some of those materials and services.
Rather than great
rather
procurement. Yeah.
But I will be doing more.
Yeah. Okay. So that's significant. Yeah. Nearly 2.7. Oh, it says it there, 2.7 million difference.
Yeah.
What we budgeted for what we spent.
There are also a number of works that we've carried forward, and most of the significant ones of those were capital as well. I wouldn't imagine they will impact it, but I will have some more detailed notes around that in the final financial statements as well.
Okay. I guess it's new to us, so having a bit of a chance to read it. If there's anything that jumps out at you, I'm sure John or Caitlin will be happy to answer that. Bring it to the next, bring it up for the next council meeting in October. Okay. Right, are there any further questions of Caitlin?
There's no other red bits.
No, that's what I was looking at.
Good to see investments, well, they were up 40%. That helps. There's an extra 454,000. All helps, doesn't it?
It does. If not, the recommendation will read, 1, following review, the going concern basis is appropriate for the financial statements for the year ended 30 June 2024, and the required disclosures within the statements with regards to going concern are fairly reflected within the applicable notes. 2, Council authorise the General Manager in consultation with the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee, Council's auditors and the Chief Financial Officer to make any necessary adjustments to the financial statements that may arise as a result of the audit process and to report back to Council on any such adjustments that are made where significant. 3, Council authorise the signing of the statement by councillors and management by the Mayor and Deputy Mayor and endorse the signing by the General Manager and the Chief Financial Officer as the responsible accounting officer in relation to the general purpose financial statements. 4, the general purpose financial statements and special purpose financial statements for the year ended 30 June 2024 be formally referred to Council's auditor for audit. And 5, Council delegates to the General Manager authority upon receipt of the auditor's reports to A, forward a copy of the financial statements and auditor's reports to the Office of Local Government. B, arrange for public notice to be given in the required format on Council's website of the Council meeting for presentation of the audited 2023-24 financial statements. C, arrange for the Council's audited financial statements and auditors' reports to be placed on public exhibition. And D, list the audited financial statements and auditors' reports on the agenda for the next available Council meeting for presentation to the public, which allows for the 7-day public notice requirement. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you.